That's right. Soup season just knocked on the door. Moving into the mid part of November, we're getting those really hard frost nights. All the parsley's gone. I went out there this morning. The spinach I think I can harvest tonight. I had that covered. I should have grabbed the parsley yesterday. But c'est la vie. Blue Hubbard squash. Gonna make a little soup. It is, I gotta get moving. It's 7:18. I have to leave the house in 40 minutes. So I'm gonna pop these in the toaster oven. I have it heating to 375. I'll give them a quick roast, and then tonight we'll make the soup. I want to talk about like efficiency in planning your meals and whatnot. And I thought if I roast them now, I still have to make my coffee, get out the door. But here's the actual Blue Hubbard. I think I might have mentioned back in the spring, I went to the library to take out some books and saw they have a free seed exchange. That's the 375. I'll pop them in. They have a free seed exchange at the Kingston Library, so I grabbed a bunch of seeds, and there were about 5 little Blue Hubbard, and its vine crawled up the fence. I got a few real monsters, and at the end of the season, grab these little guys. So I will pop these in the toaster oven, and I will see you all this evening. Let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Okay, but before I pop them in, I should probably mention, I'm just going to stab them. You want to let the steam escape while they roast. You don't want them to explode in there. You'll be cleaning the thing all night. All right, in they go, 375 until I have to leave. 40 minutes, should be perfect. All right, I'm on my way to work. I gotta feed these girls, and let's grab a little sage on the way in. I forgot about that, and it's gonna be dark when I get home. All right, let's take care of these ladies first. Come on, you mooks. All right, I'll see you tonight. It's kind of a bummer because since we changed the clocks, well, they get an extra hour in the morning, daylight, but it's dark. They're already roosted up when I get home. So I try to leave them out as long as I can in the morning. All right, let's get that sage. All right, you can see the frost on it. Like I said, the parsley's gone, but sage is pretty tough, man. It's pretty hardy. So let's get a bunch. I'm gonna cut a bunch of these and dry them. I'll come out here in the dark, but it'll be dark when I get home. So let's get what we want for our soup. That's it. I got to jump in the car. I'll see you all tonight. Well, so much for tonight. That was Thursday morning, 7 a.m. It is now Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Life got in the way, but I'm making that soup. Let's head over to the marble. Everything's still good. Let's pick up where we left off. Okay, this soup's going to be super simple. I had some chicken stock in the freezer. It's very nice. I think I roasted the chicken for that one, so it's got a nice roasty flavor. Now, sometimes with squash soups, I don't even use stock. You can just go with water because I love the delicate flavor like a butternut squash soup. But that's going to be lovely. Okay, so that was Thursday, so they've been in the fridge for a couple of days, but they're in this skin, in this Tupperware, they're absolutely fine. This is what I opened the show with talking about. Think about your meals, when you're going to do what. If you have to, adjust and improvise, that's fine. But I'm glad I roasted these on Thursday morning, because I'm ahead of the game. Let me get a vessel here. Actually, we can use the top here. So we'll put all our flesh of the Blue Hubbard in here, and what I want to do too is take these seeds out, and we're going to dry those and roast those separately for a little garnish. So I'm just going to get all the flesh away from the skin, the roasted skin. Could probably put some of that skin in little bits and pieces because these charry parts, because it's going to get blended. They'll add a nice smoky. There's the sage we picked. Okay, I'll finish this up. I'm going to get all this flesh out. I'm going to separate the seeds. And then I've got some leeks here. All the leeks are harvested. They stay pretty good. I have them in the fridge I washed them, dried them. I have them in the fridge in a Ziploc, and they'll stay for weeks. And I think we might use the leek hay too, because that looks gorgeous. All right, let me prep this squash, and then I'll see you at the stove and we'll get started. Leeks, squash, chicken stock, sage, salt and pepper. Simple, simple, simple. All right, it's 9 p.m. Let's get this show on the road. Here's that Blue Hubbard squash. There's still some seeds in it, but I got most of them out. And I'll put those aside for now. We'll deal with those once the soup's on, over to the board. I'll put those on the board. We'll head over there in a minute. So here's the squash. And notice, it's not a lot of squash. This is going to be a very interesting soup. So it's going to be like Blue Hubbard flavored, a thin soup, I think. So let's get some heat on this, and we'll put a little light olive oil. Just a touch. And then we'll start by sauteing our leeks. I've got everything diced up. We're looking for that sizzle, right? There it is. Gonna put a little salt on those right away, because I want to pull some moisture out of them. They've been in the fridge in a Ziploc for, maybe a week. It's the year-end harvest. But they are beautiful. I think I'm going to make a leek and potato soup soon. Vichyssoise. Super fragrant. I'm using the leek because I have it in place of onion or shallot. It's more mild, sweeter. Just love them. And I love watching them grow. Okay, let's go right in with the sage. I have a bunch. Oh, that's the preheat for the seeds over at the Breville. I'm going to go with some sage. I'm cooking it down. I have more to put in later, but I want to cook some. Black pepper. We already added salt. It's already throwing up the most unbelievable aroma. So now let's put our squash in. Blue Hubbard, there's some seeds in there. It's all going to get pureed. I think this is going to be a beautiful little pot of soup. I can feel it. Whoops. I'm going to see that back, and I'm going to think of the beets. Now sometimes with these squash soups, butternut and the Blue Hubbard, I will add a little curry. But I'm keeping this one strictly backyard. The sage. And here's that roasted chicken stock. Give everything a nice little stir. And then I'm going to taste the liquid. Remember that old Ming Tsai trick. This will tell you where your seasoning is at for the final dish. Oh man, this is going to be incredible. I can tell already. So let's bring this up to a boil. Alright, it's coming up to a boil. I did taste it again. We'll check for seasoning once more after we do the puree. Changes the flavor a little. So we're going to go way low. We're going to put a cover on. And we're just going to let that simmer away. So you guys meet me at the board. Okay, the Breville's at 400. You guys heard it beep. I've got the rack down at the bottom on the roasting level. 400 degrees roast. So I'm taking this baking dish. I'm going to line it with foil. And these are the seeds that we just took out of that squash. I've been drying them on this paper towel. They're not completely dry, but we don't want them soaking wet because we want to roast them and get them nice and crispy. So let's slide them off this paper towel. And we're just going to season them up a little bit. Now again, curry is always nice on these, but I'm staying away from those Mideastern flavors. I'm going Mediterranean, just because I have all this stuff. Now what I've been doing is I've been processing all my herbs. I had that beautiful herb bed this year, and I'm bringing them in, drying them, curing them. We got some oregano, looks like tarragon, dill, basil, thyme, all kinds of herbs. And I've been individually drying them and curing them. But this is the spillover, so this is just like a mix. It's got a little bit of everything in it. So let's use some of that. I just pulled these and dried them this week, so this is super fresh. It's so pungent, the aroma coming off of this. It's incredible. Salt and pepper. And in this case, I'm going for the First Cold Press Extra Virgin. This stuff is phenomenal. I told you in the last episode, I only use it for certain. You know, I'm definitely not cooking in this. I don't know, I might, if a nice thinly pounded fresh breadcrumb chicken cutlet, sauteed lightly in that, I'd go for that. But you're not using it for general duty. Alright, so I'm just going to slide these guys in and roast them up. And I am going to put a timer on because I have a tendency to forget about things. So I'll put on the stove, I'll put 15 minutes and I'll have a look at them. So the soup's on, the seeds are on, 15, 20. I'll see you back here then. These are phenomenal. Perfect crunch, spice. So we'll set those aside. Here's the soup. It cooled down a little. I got my trusty stick blender, and let's just whiz it up. Alright, we got a nice blend. Let's pop it back on the stove and cook it down a little. Thicken her up. So I got this on high. I cooked off a little bit of that water. We want to just thicken it down a little. I did taste it. I added some salt and another crack of black. Now all these soups, I made a lentil soup the other night, that Roman lentil, that was phenomenal. And a lot of these soups, at the very end, you just throw a little acid in. A little bit of lemon juice. Just tie these things up at the close. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this way down, the lowest I can put this flame, and just let that simmer. On the front burner, I drizzled a little lemon juice so you can hear it spitting a little, but I have some olive oil, light olive oil, and we're going to do our leek hay. And why not throw in a few sage leaves? We've got them, they're out, right? Alright, so I tasted this. I added a little salt and black pepper. And at the very end, what's always nice on these soups, I did a lentil last week. a little bit of lemon juice at the very end. Well, try to get it in the soup. You just want to throw that acid note on top. Very Romanesque. Okay, so now in the back burner here, I'm going to turn this way down and just let that simmer. See, we're thickening it up a little. But I love the consistency. On the front burner, we're cranked. We've got our olive oil, light olive oil. 327, 331. We're getting there. We're getting just about fry temperature. But as much as I love the gun, here's the real thermometer. You want to go dry wood. Right? We've talked about this. See, we're getting bubbles, but you want a nice bubble around that dry wood, which will happen at about 350. So, I am going to turn the fan on. Be prepared. $350. Let's see what the dry wood says. Never fails. See those bubbles? Let's put our leek hay in, and then our sage leaves shortly thereafter. Get a paper towel. Leek hay. Thank you, Scotty. Changed my life. Okay, let's drain these. They will crisp up more as they dry. So you don't want to overdo them. You want to get them golden, like that. Then get them out, and they will crisp up as they drain. Same with the sage leaves. Flame off. Flame off and back. Fan off. Let's play. The moment of truth has arrived. Took long enough, right? From Thursday to Saturday? It's almost midnight, for crying out loud. This is what weekends are for, though. Not staring at a clock. Alright, here's our Blue Hubbard squash soup. Pureed down. Still has nice chunks, pieces of seed. Alright, how do we want to dress this up? I love yogurt on these soups. Sour cream if you have it. I tend to keep yogurt in the house more than I do sour cream. Just a plain Greek yogurt. No sweeteners. Okay? Of course, that leek hay that we just fried up. I've got more sage, right? The fresh sage. We cooked a bunch in. Told you I was saving some. The seeds roasted with our herb mix. Freshly harvested herb mix. And these crispy fried sage leaves. I'm going in on this. What do you think? Let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Okay, I moved it over to the board here. Lighting seemed a little bit better. So let's check it out. Blue Hubbard squash soup. Leek hay, crispy fried sage leaves, little Greek yogurt. I'm going to go for a few seeds, a little yogurt, and a sage leaf. I'll hold on for the hay. Oh man, are you kidding me? This ain't right. I don't even know how to deal with this hay. I guess fingers are gonna have to be employed. Oh! Scotty turned me on to the leek hay thing, and it is one of the most important things in my life. This particular summer, anyway. This soup is unbelievable, and this squash is unbelievable. The Blue Hubbard. And by the way, these were just those two young ones that were sort of orphans at the end of the season, so I didn't want to waste them. I grabbed them. That big honker that I showed you earlier, that's the true squash. That's ripe, it's matured, it's got sugars in it. I'm bringing that to the Fun family for Thanksgiving. We'll make a soup out of it. I'll see you all for the next episode. Come on, let's do it. That soup was 5-star. Even if I did eat it at 11 p.m. or so. And as evidenced by that last clip, okay, however, I didn't forget you good people. I promised you, right? I was going to address the pink shirt at the very beginning of the episode. It's always something. Set camera up, hit record, do spiel, download, go to edit. What the hell is that? All right, it was 7 a.m. I got up, I had showered. I put on that unironed, wrinkly pink linen shirt, which I love. It's so comfortable. And then I came down and had left a few dishes in the sink. So I banged out the dishes, splashing water. Don't feel it, don't know it. And then I just got to work with the camera. So, little dishwater stain. No big, evaporated, went off to work. That soup was 5-star. And I can't wait to repeat it with the mature, much, much sweeter, large squash on Thanksgiving Day. That's it, man. I hope you got something out of the episode. Please subscribe. Tell other people to subscribe. We got big things for 2025. Speaking of which, it's Sunday morning now. Later this afternoon, I have a guest chef coming over. And I am beyond pumped because I know what he's going to cook. You don't. We'll spoil it for next week. See you then.